y'all, I'm Ashley, here on Talking Books with Ashley, to do my wrap-up for June and July, because I read nearly nothing for those 2 months, so I can combine them. I might have actually already talked about some, I don't know. I'm just going to talk about them again if I have, because I don't remember. I took nearly all of July off a hiatus because I got married on the 18th, and I'll put a picture in of my wedding pictures of me in my wedding dress. So I don't know what I've said and not said. Let's get into it. First book I'll talk about is Daring in the Duke by Sarah McLean. This is about Grace Condry, who is a bare knuckle fighter, and she is the sister of Beast and of Devil. Devil is the hero in Wicked and the Wallflower. Beast is the hero in Brazen and the Beast. The hero in this one is Ewan, the Duke of Marwick. He's the bad guy in the other two novels, and she puts them together. Now, part of me feels really weird about this one. My review really, literally read, this is my favorite and least favorite Sarah McLean I've ever read before, because I love a bad guy. I love a villain. I love the jerk who comes in and ruins everything and then still gets the girl. I loved their chemistry, but he was the bad guy in Daring in the Duke and Brazen and the Beast, and he nearly killed Hattie. And as you very well know, Hattie is like my literal favorite hero ever, or heroine, in a romance novel. So no, I wasn't okay with him. Like, I don't care if he's the bad guy. He nearly took away Hattie. Spoiler. These are not you cannot read these out of order. It's an oddity in a romance novel, or in the romance genre, that these can't or aren't standalone. They're series, because most romance books you can read in any order. They're standalone. You can read them when you want to, because of, well, just the nature. It's just a romance. Next, I'll talk about The Last Train to Key West by Chanel Clayton. This is a new, not like her other two, Next Year in Havana and When We Left Cuba. They are not necessarily a series, or more companion, but they go together. This one doesn't. It's about a Murda Perez's family is in a precarious position. She agrees to an arranged marriage to an American. Elizabeth Preston's trip to Key West is a chance to save her once healthy family after the Wall Street clash. And then there is a lady who works in a diner who is both of their waitress. She's heavily pregnant. Her name is Helen, and she's in a bad marriage. Murda she isn't in a bad marriage, but she's in a marriage to a man she doesn't know. She doesn't know her husband. She doesn't understand what he does and who he is. And Elizabeth is looking for her brother after the Wall Street crash and horrible family circumstances. And it's basically how these three women's stories collide at the end. And I really enjoyed this, not as much as the other two. This is more detailed. There's more characters. There's more to this story than the others. And it just was not my favorite. But it was still very good. Would recommend. Next, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia. Is it? Okay. Sylvia Morano Garcia, if that's how you say the name. I don't know if you say the main character's name as Noemi or Naomi, and I don't really want to butcher it. And I googled it, I looked it up, and there was no like absolute this is how you say it. But I read it Naomi in my head, even though it's kind of backwards to Naomi. It's N-O-E. Anyways, whatever. I actually wanted to get the audiobook to find out, but I just never did. It's about the main character going to her cousin who has asked for her after a marriage to a man that nobody in her family knew. She was swept up in this romance, got married, and she's scooped off to a house in Mexico where they live like it's still England, because that makes sense. And then weird stuff starts happening. It's Gothic Manor style writing with a Jeff Vandermeer kind of twist on the story. And I loved it, because it has just about everything I wanted. It has the creepy, I don't want to give it away comparing the monster story part to it to Jeff Vandermeer might like tip you off if you've read him. Probably one of my favorite weird books I've read this year. I won't even say weird. One of my favorite creepy Gothic style books I've read this year. Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. I gave this 1 star. And I never give 1 star. I don't like talking about books I don't like, but I'm going to talk about it because now I have a channel. This is the love story between Braden Mack and Liv, the sister from Romance Book Club. She is snarky, she's hard, and that's fine. That's not, women are allowed to be those things, but this is about she walks in on a sexual assault. I'm going to spoil some things. She walks into a sexual assault. It's based on a romantic suspense novel. And after that, she literally blames the victim at every turn. And I don't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy reading it. I didn't appreciate the thoughts. And like, there were a couple people who like called her out on how she was acting, but she didn't really change until the end. And I literally spent the whole entire novel waiting on it to happen again. Like the other shoe to drop and another sexual assault to happen. And it was a horrible reading experience. So 1 star. Didn't like it. Next. Oh good God, this is a chunker. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I can't talk about this one without spoiling the first 7. So this is, as you can tell, or as you can see, a sequel. Not really a sequel. This is the end of a series. It's a series finale. The 7th or 8th book in the Throne of Glass series. This is so detailed. And part of the reason I love Sarah J. Maas is because her books are so detailed. But at this point, you've told a whole story 3 times over. It's 700 something pages. Just finish it by now, okay? Like, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't, because I did. I do enjoy these stories, but I enjoy the whole series. But there is no reason it had to be as long as it did. I said 700. I'm sorry, I was off by 200. It's 984 pages long. And I did finish it. And I did. And in the month of my wedding, I finished it. But, Lord, I have Crescent City. And that was the main reason for reading it. Because I have her next book, Crescent City, which is an adult fairy story. And I love the fairy stories. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Crescent City after I finish Kingdom of Ash. And I don't have the energy. I just don't. Sorry. Next, Charlie. Next is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. Nope, Charlie. Mama's trying to make videos. This is about between Emily and Simon, who meet at a Renaissance fair. She's helping to take care. Thank you, Charlie. No. She's helping take care of her niece after her sister has been in a terrible car accident, and she is working the Ren Fair with her niece, and Simon's family runs the fair. He's really stressed out. He's grumpy because he expects it a certain way. She is more laid back. She's trying to change things because she feels like it could be run a different way. Sorry, Charlie hit the camera. And he doesn't like that. He wants it run the exact same way every year. And it's stressing her out, stressing him out. And then they fall in love, like any good romance. I really enjoyed this one. I wanted more fair. And maybe we'll get it with the next one. I don't know. We shall see. Last one is actually, I read it the first book, Charlie. It's the first book I read in the month of June. It's been a long time ago. And the one I wasn't real sure. Hey. So, sorry. You got dog nose. I wasn't real sure if I had already talked about this one or not. 19-year-old Vivian Morris has just been kicked out of Vassar College, and she heads to New York with her Aunt Peg, who runs a theater. And it's her story of living in New York, the mistakes she made, the friends she met, and then she creates costumes for women in theater. And now she's 89, and she's telling her story of being a teenager in New York in the 1940s during, or kind of before we started off going to war and sending everybody to war. It was really good. I actually have sticky notes in it because I liked it. And I would give this a 5 stars. I love historical fiction, and I just don't hardly ever read it. I grabbed it because the paperback cover is gorgeous. I'm pretty sure the paperback and the hardback have the same color or cover, but sometimes paperbacks just do it better. Especially when they're chunky books. I would recommend it. He keeps knocking it over. But those were my books for the month. Our Kingdom of Ash fail. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, if you've read any of these books, please let me know down below. If you would please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I thank y'all for watching. And my camera's dying, so I got to go. I'll see y'all later. Bye.